All right. Taihus' vlog, entry number 5, the vlogging. Okay, so we're just starting. Classes are going pretty well. I've got my routine down. I think I'm getting better at. Why am I wearing these? I think I'm getting better at reading my audience. Figuring out what they think is funny, what they think is not funny, what they want, what they understand, what they don't understand. Reading my audience. It's a thing that I didn't think I'd ever be good at, but I think I'm learning it. I think it's working. I mean, it's like the world is kind of trying to tell me it's not so much about you think you're talented at. It's more about, well, what you're willing to put effort into, which I know to some people sounds really obvious, but believe me, right now this is a little bit of a revelation. Anyways, um, living alone tips. If you want to make something that's easy, hard to mess up, and tastes pretty good, so what you do is you make a sofrito. A sofrito it's also called a mirepoix in French. Sofrito is Italian. Basically, it's a flavor base. You Why is my Sorry, my computer was plugged into the wrong outlet. So, a sofrito or mirepoix is a flavor base. You make it by finely chopping onions, celery, and carrots, and then you just fry that together until it becomes aromatic. Then what you can do is you add canned tomatoes to that, and then voila, instant pasta sauce, instant soup base, instant. You can use it with pretty much anything. Like you add meat to it, pasta, add some rice, even oatmeal works with it actually. And yeah, it's easy. It's not exactly fast, but it's hard to mess up, and it tastes pretty good. Oh yeah, and salt. Don't forget salt. And of course, you can adjust the flavoring to your own preferences by adding some sugar or some vinegar. Yeah, and like you can then start playing around with it, add other spices. So yeah, Tyson's living alone tips. Eat healthy, eat fresh. Just because you think you can't cook doesn't mean you shouldn't cook. So, what else? You know, I found that for some, like, I don't know what it is. Well, actually, no, I do know what it is. Like, I find that meeting students that were in my classes just like a couple hours ago, and then they're walking down the street and they're like, "Oh, ni hao, Teacher Joe." I'm just, that gives me that kind of the cliche, the warm and fuzzy feeling inside. It's like, it's knowing that, hey, I really made this kid's day. I taught them something new. They had a good time doing it, and it's good. And like that's I don't know. It feels like that's kind of the payoff to you know doing to putting myself forward, I guess, and going out of my comfort zone, taking on this job. I mean, yeah, stuff like that. It's, stuff that I should keep in mind. So, whenever in the future I'm facing something that I feel like is, pushing myself out of my comfort zone, is like maybe do I want to do this or not? You know, this now remembering this. This is an example of, hey, if I apply myself, if I, put a bit of myself into what I'm doing, it's cool. Stuff like that happens. I get kids that walk up to me and say, "Ni hao," and then I feel great about it. So that's the thing. Um, and I mean, yeah, that all being said, I'm still having a lot of trouble getting myself to sleep on time. I mean, I really shouldn't. Like, I'm getting up not early in the morning, but I do have to be up in the morning, and I have to be at work on time, which means getting up early enough to make myself breakfast, eat breakfast, pack stuff, get to work. Um, And it's an old problem of mine. It's been with me since easily since high school. Like, I'd stay up until 1 in the morning reading a novel because I wanted to find out what happens at the end. And I suspect it has something to do with what Capri is one of my coworkers. She's a professional ballet dancer, ended up falling into learning traditional Chinese dance. Now she works here. But she talked to me about flow and mastery. The idea that, when you put effort into something, when you really put yourself into what you're doing, then you enter a flow state. You enter this a state of extreme concentration where you're at peak performance. And then the idea that being in that flow state is key to being happy and healthy. That people who live long, who are consistently happy, are people who are able to, or who are doing something in their lives where they are entering a flow state on a regular basis. And, you know, I suspect that the reason why I'm having trouble going to sleep is because I'm, well, I'm unsatisfied. I do stuff during the day, and then, it feels like even though I've been busy all day, I really haven't done anything. I haven't done anything, even though I technically have. And I think it's the fact that even though during the day I've been doing stuff, I haven't been applying myself. I haven't been really working towards something, putting my effort towards completing a goal, towards learning something new, towards finishing some project, completing a goal, like I said. And yeah, I don't know, something to think about. One more reason to keep on doing these vlogs, editing them, posting them on a consistent basis, along with other stuff. I mean, I've been learning how to use a fountain pen. Um, my handwriting isn't the neatest, but it's getting along. I'm still figuring out how to make a fountain pen work consistently. I mean, like, I can see why people invented ballpoint pens because this thing it's fiddly. It's a little fiddly. If I do the wrong thing, it jams up with ink, or then ink goes all over the place. It's nuts. I'm having to look up how to take care of your fountain pen. I've never had to do that for a pen ever before. Uh, anyways, yeah, I think that covers it for today, for the last few days. Um, yeah, just note to self: when you can't go to sleep on time, just try to go to sleep anyways. I mean, like, I need to set these hard limits for myself. I can't just let myself stay up half the night watching random shit because that. I mean, I don't enjoy. Then at that point, I don't enjoy what I'm watching, and then I'm also tired the next day and I can't get things done, and then it's a vicious cycle. Anyways, I think I've been over that before. Right. So, to end on a slightly happier note, so any of you who play Overwatch, you know about Mei, the character Mei, and her amazing puns. What is wrong with this? Sorry about that, guys. My webcam did something weird. Anyways, as I was saying, if you play Overwatch, you know who Mei is. Mei, and for those who don't play Overwatch, one of the characters in this video game called Overwatch is this adorable little Chinese woman, climate scientist named Mei. She has, powers that are themed around freezing, being able to freeze the enemy team in place. And her personality is just kind of the ultimate little sister. Like, she is basically the most adorable thing to exist on the planet Earth. Well, maybe not the most adorable thing, but she's close. Anyways, she's also the maker of a lot of puns. Amazing puns that have to do with her name or with ice. However, what a lot of you players who don't speak Chinese don't know is she doesn't just make puns in English. She also makes puns in Chinese. Now, one of her voice lines that can trigger when she uses her ability Ice Wall is 强强这个. Now, in Chinese, there's an expression 强强这个, which is literally eat this. But of course, she doesn't say chang. She says tiang, and tiang is wall. So, Chinese puns. Now you know. That's it for today, guys. Stay tuned. And Giant, don't learn how to speak Chinese just to make Chinese puns. That would be terrible. Actually, no. Learn how to speak Chinese if only to make Chinese puns because that'd be kind of funny. And also, you know how to speak Chinese, which is, I don't know why I find that funny. I just do. Okay, stay tuned. Catch you guys next time.